What's going on, guys? So this week I'm really excited about the review that we have in store for you. It's a coffee company that I've been wanting to check out for a while. They're actually a California-based company that we just got some stores down in DC. A couple of my med school friends were really big on this place, and I finally got a chance to check it out, and I have to say that I definitely agree with them. So, whether you are a huge fan of Philz coffee out of California, or whether you've never heard of the place at all, I think you're gonna wanna stay tuned to this week's coffee review right here on The Doctor's Lounge. So welcome back, guys. I know it's been a while since I've put out a review, but I've been transitioning from my old hospital to the new hospital for the beginning of my second year of residency, and things got a little bit tight. So, but last week I went to a coffee shop here in Adams Morgan, Philz Coffee, and was able to pick up one of their blends of the month, which this month is the Julie's Ultimate. And I gotta say, I really like this blend, and I wanted to take a minute to do a quick review for you if you're somebody out there who's never heard of Philz before and you may want to check it out. So let's get right into it and talk a little bit about Philz. They are a San Francisco based company. They do all of their roasting right in Oakland, California. And what's even cooler about their roasting process is the way that they source their beans. They are very focused on being as ethical as possible in where they get their beans. So they work on traceability of the beans, they work on worker safety and the actual impact that it has on the environment. And they do a lot of donating through Food for Farmers to help support the actual growers, and then also the World Coffee Reserve for really trying to source the beans ethically, which helps. I mean, when you're talking about going to a chain like this and giving them business, you want to make sure that they're getting their beans ethically. But on top of that, they just make a really excellent product. So when you can kind of pair the responsible coffee growing together with having an excellent product, I think it's a win-win for everybody. And that's why I wanted to take some time to kind of feature them today. So we're going to be looking at their blend of the month, which is the Julie's Ultimate. So the blend of the month is whenever you go into a store, they have a little barrel of what their blend of the month is, and they reduce the price on that to kind of promote it for the month. What's great about that is that you can get a really well-roasted coffee for a pretty decent price, and we're going to talk about that at the end of this review. But I think we should get right into the actual taste of the coffee and talk a little bit about, first, the aroma. So let's dive right in. So the smell of this coffee is phenomenal. We've been making it for the past couple days, and it just kind of fills the whole apartment with this aroma. It's a very full-bodied smell. And the first thing that you notice about the smell is that darker roasted kind of smoky smell that you typically get. But if you really put it up to your nose and you kind of dig a little bit deeper, the one thing that I noticed that was interesting to me was almost this like pop of sweetness and almost borderline berry cherry smell that you get. Almost like cherry juice. It's that apparent to me. And that pairs really well and goes really well with the smokiness, because you kind of get this smoky, hazy cherry smell, which is excellent, and I really enjoyed that. But what was really interesting is if you smell a little bit deeper, down towards the bottom, once you get past that initial smokiness, past that sweetness, you almost get to this weird graham crackery, bready smell. And that's the best way that I can describe it to you. And why I think that's interesting is that I really believe that this coffee goes really well with kind of more semi-sweet breakfasty items. So biscotti, or a biscuit or a scone, or like Lissa's grandma makes these like tea cookies that are like mustachol. They're made with wine. They're a little bit more on the semi-sweet end of the spectrum. I think if you're somebody who eats those types of things for breakfast, you would really enjoy this coffee, because I think it would pair and balance really well. That little bit of smoky sweetness in the beginning of the coffee, kind of with that bready toastiness in the middle, will help to kind of balance things out when you're eating something like a biscuit or a scone or something like that, or tea biscuit. If you're from up north and you've been to Tim Hortons, you know what a tea biscuit is. I think that would be a great pairing with this coffee. So let's go on. I could talk about the smell of this coffee for a while because it's really complex, but let's move on to the taste. You know, it's weird. A lot of times you smell things in coffee and then you go to taste it and the taste is completely different. But here, the nose of this coffee and the taste of this coffee are very much in sync and in unison with each other. The first thing that I get on the taste of this coffee is a really kind of like nice little bright pop of acidity. And I'm really getting that kind of cherry sweetness mixed into this. And I think why I'm thinking that and why that's coming out is, if you remember, you know, you go out, you go cherry picking and you pull one off, you know, you wipe it off to try to remove the pesticides the best that you can, and you pop that in your mouth. The first thing that you get is almost a tartness. Especially like an under-ripened cherry, where you get a little bit of that tartness, and then on the finish end you get the sweetness. That's what the beginning, the opening of this coffee tastes like to me. But what's nice is that it kind of evens itself out, and it's weird that that graham crackery, bready taste really kind of shows itself in the middle of this coffee, and midway through your palate, and then finishes off at the end on that exhale with that smoky, chocolatey, nice dark roastness that you kind of come to appreciate and you come to expect whenever you're buying a dark roast coffee. So that nice journey that you go through is really great, and it's very complex, and for $14 a pound I think is a great deal. I mean, and for right now, heading over there on philzcoffee.com, you can pick this up and have it shipped to you for $14 a pound, which I think is great, and that will be going on until July 31st. So if you're digging what I'm kind of talking about, and these sound like something that you would like, if you're one of those people that maybe do a biscuit for breakfast in the morning or a scone, I think you'd want to try this out and see what it's all about. I think you'd really enjoy it. In terms of caffeine content, darker roasts tend to, because you roast them at a higher temperature, you burn off some of that caffeine. And that holds true with this. You're not going to be jittery, you're not going to be going through the roof, but it is going to give you a nice little wake-up kick in the morning. And if you have a cup of this in the morning and then have another cup midway through the day, you're not going to feel as though you're like really irritated or agitated, and it won't kind of push on to when you come home. You won't have difficulties falling asleep at night from drinking this coffee, which I think is something that we all, if you're a coffee lover and you're drinking multiple cups throughout the day, something that you're going to want to kind of key in on. So really great aroma, excellent taste. The caffeine, I think, is a really good level for me at least, and you can't beat that price right now. So if you really liked kind of what I was talking about, I would definitely recommend heading over to philzcoffee.com before July 31st ends and they switch over to a new roast. On this channel, I'm going to be trying to review the blend of the month every month so that it gives you guys a chance to check it out if that's something that you're interested in. And if you're drinking something new, as always, leave me a comment down below. If you pick up a bag of this Julie's Ultimate, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're tasting, what you're smelling, and whether or not you liked it or not, so that we can kind of get a little bit of a discussion going about this blend of the month from Philz. So thank you guys very much for tuning in and for subscribing and supporting the channel by checking these videos out. Hopefully you are a coffee lover like me and you're enjoying these videos. We got a lot of great coffee reviews coming. I have some great stuff from Bones Coffee, a maple bacon coffee, a bourbon barrel-aged coffee that I think you guys are really going to enjoy the reviews for. So hit that subscribe button if you have not already, and if not, happy coffee drinking. Tune in next week for a new review right here on The Doctor's Lounge, the coffee review show for the Not So Average Joe. Thank you guys again for tuning in, and I will see you next week. Bye now.